So we want this thing to authenticate when we click sign in. So if we look at sign in, we're probably going to want some sort of on-click on this. So I'll go ahead and add something. On-click. I'll have it call a function called authenticate. Now remember, this is a stateless functional component, so it's not this.authenticate, but I can still just create functions as local variables inside my other function. Totally works. And for right now, having nothing better to do, maybe on our state in app.js, besides our notes, we also have a user ID, UID, and we'll initialize that to null. And then we can have a function in app that deals with that thing. So, somewhere around signed in, let's add another method. I'll call it auth handler. Maybe it takes some sort of user data as its method, or as its argument. And that user data will have a UID in it, and we can say this.setState UID colon user data dot UID. And then what signed in can do is return this.state dot UID. So if it's there, it'll be true. If it's null, it'll be false. So now what our authenticate method needs to do is call auth handler and pass in an object with a UID. So I reckon we ought to pass that in here. This dot auth handler. So in sign in, now we're being passed in a prop. We can destructure it. And authenticate can call auth handler and pass in this object with a UID, and we'll just say destruce or whatever you want to say. Just to see if that much works. So right now, if we look at app component in our React DevTools, we see notes and we see UID is null. If I click sign in with GitHub, everything shows up because UID is no longer null. So what would sign out need to do? Set it back to null. So in app.js, we can make another method. I'll put it next to all these other auth-related things. I will call it sign out. You can do a this.setState UID null. So then this method needs to be available to our sign out component. So down here where we render that, we need to pass in this.signout as a prop called signout. So then in our signout component, we can destructure that in our argument list. In our button, on click, can call it. Sign in with GitHub. UID is there. Click sign out. It's not there anymore. And we go back to the sign in page. So we now have sort of a sign in, sign out flow, even though it doesn't have real UIDs yet. Add sign in, sign out flow with hard-coded UID. And then we just need to wire up the stuff that we imported from Firebase. We're halfway through. We took a little time to fix some stuff, but I could still use a little break, so let's take a 10-minute break. Maybe a little shorter than usual, 5 minutes or something.